How's it going, everyone? Today we have got a
Vauxhall Calibra SE5.
So yeah, let's get into it. So what are the specs of the car?
This is the SE5, which means you have a few extra gauges inside, but basically it's the 2-litre 8-valve, it's not the 16-valve or the V6. It's 115 brake horsepower, 170 newton meters of torque, not the 60 and 10 seconds. It is not a fast car.
And what's the gearbox in it?
This one's an automatic, quite rare to be automatic in them. There's only 4 in existence in the UK according to the DVLA, and there's only one of them taxed, and that's it.
Ah, that's the only one. That's very good. And where's the power being sent to?
Front wheels.
Front wheel drive, yeah.
4-speed automatic.
Oh, we got your volts and your bar all there, I see.
Oh yes, you've got your oil pressure there and your ammeter. That's the SE bit, really, basically.
Yeah.
My last one didn't have that.
Well, it's nice to have it, you know.
And this has got the airbag. It's quite interesting. My previous one, which was a lower spec model, had an adjustable steering column, height-wise, you know, and this doesn't.
Okay.
Because it's got an airbag, and the adjustable mechanism isn't strong enough to take the impact of an airbag going off. So when they added the airbag, they deleted the height adjustable column.
Ah, okay, that's all a bit annoying.
Yeah.
I'm guessing I don't have an airbag.
No, you don't know. You don't count.
Ah, right. So only drivers matter. Yeah.
No, yes, of course, you know, passengers are dispensable, you know.
Passengers are dispensable. So what's the history on the Calibra?
It's had various owners. The previous owner, I don't think he ever drove the car on the road. He's a collector, and the original owner, I believe, was a lady in England. And I have a wallet full of paperwork of, you know, from you, for every service that's been done on it. You know, even wiper blades, everything. You know, it's the car has only got 48,000 miles on it. Just turned 48. I've put 1,000 miles on it since I've had it. I've had it 2.5 years.
Only that?
Yeah.
Fair enough, like.
And she's incredibly good nick, you know, she's very original, you know, so it's rare. I've never done that before in that car. I've never manually shifted her before. I'll just leave it and drive, it's probably easier.
So what are the modifications you've made to the car?
I put a set of earlier slab alloys which were fitted to the earlier Calibras. My original Calibra had those on it, and I just like the look of them. Yep. And I put a different stereo in it because the original one didn't work.
So why do you like the Calibra?
I had one when I was in my early 30s. I had a red one which was again an 8-valve. She was badged 16-valve, but she wasn't. But the only difference was she had the same alloys on her, which is why I went back to them. But she had a Bilstein handling kit on her. This is standard, but you know, it doesn't get thrown down country lanes like the original one did. You know.
You've got no modifications in mind for it?
No. You know, cars like this. To be honest, everybody modifies their cars, you know, and when these were about, you know, and the problem is that the standard car, bog standard, is more valuable now than the modified car. It's the same when you look at the Mark II Escorts, you know. Yeah. They're checking what screws are used and the caps for the screws under the bonnet and all this sort of stuff, you know. It's completely anal, but, you know, everybody for their own, you know.
So what's the condition like for this car?
She's very, very good. She's as good in below as she is above. MOT couldn't believe it. She's totally original. She even has the original spare wheel in the boot. It's a space saver, but it's never been on the car.
Oh wow!
And she has the emergency kit and triangle and you know, Red Cross blanket and all that sort of stuff, and bandages and all came with her. They're all still in the boot.
And have you ever used the spare wheel?
No, the spare wheel's never been on her.
What are some other specs of this car?
She's quite rare colour. She's cobalt blue, which is really nice. And the interior, I've redone the interior. It's slightly lighter than it originally, than it was when I had it, but it had aged and yellowed. Yeah. So I've redone it, and I think the lighter sort of cream white interior really suits the colour.
Yeah, you know, it looks good, and you've done it to a very high standard, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it took me 2 days. It's just taking me back to my younger days, you know.
What year is it?
She's 95. She's one of the later ones.
95.
Yeah.
When did they start first coming out?
I think it was about 80, I think.
Okay.
82, something like that. I can't really remember.
So they did actually have quite a long, well, production cycle.
Yeah. As I say, this is an SE5. I think they're up to SE7.
Oh, right.
And, you know, the number plate lights for this car, the seat belts and all were made in the McDonald. In Fisher Body. And that's where I worked at the time.
Yeah. So what's your ownership of this car been like?
Nothing. I've done she came, she was fully serviced. All I did was change the wheels, and she has required nothing. You know, I've only put 1,000 miles in the car. She's required nothing.
And where do you like to take it to?
I normally take it to shows. It's probably, apart from the karting, it's the next one I would drive most. And we would take it out and we run down the coast. Maybe, like, as I say, in 2.5 years we put 1,000 mile on it.
Fair enough.
You know, so you know she doesn't. None of them get much use anyway. You know, but she's normally out and about now and again. You know, and she goes to all the shows. You know, it's handy. You just get in, turn the key, and it goes.
Oh, well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, not compared to the other ones, you know. But, you know, it's very reliable, and the 8-valve engine just goes on forever. There's no problems with them. The 16 valves, yes, it's faster, but it has problems with porosity in the head, in that years. And the V6 is a softer engine anyway, you know. So that's just unburstable. It's not that powerful. It's not a fast car, but it's a nice thing to drive.
Yeah, reliability means a lot, you know.
Yeah. It's reliable.
And how have you found Practicality?
They are a full 4-seater. And
really?
yeah, on the tailgate there's that much room in the back. You know, you whenever I had my first one, you know, I had 2 children, 2 toddlers, and it was my only car, and superb. They're just as good as a Cavalier.
Now, there's one question I've got for you. What's this hole for? You know, or
documents, I presume, of some type. The Cavalier was the same. You know, this is a Cavalier dash. The interior is Mark III Cavalier.
I mean, it's very interesting. Though the thing that kind of catches me off guard is if you're accelerating hard, that's all going to just come at you.
Well, it has a mat in there. There's a wee spikely rubber mat that's supposed to catch stuff. But you're quite right, it does.
But there's not like a wee like a flap. You can shut it. So
no,
I don't know.
But there's a wee lip there.
Yeah.
But that's it. No, there's no flap. But you see, you've got the glove box below it.
Yeah.
You know.
God, very spacious there. Yeah. So there was an episode of the Grand Tour where they mentioned these cars are actually becoming extinct. So how many are left on the road?
There are plenty of Calibras, but this is an automatic SE5. There's only 4 left on DVLA records, and there's only one that's taxed and is on the road, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Very rare, yeah.
But the automatic is not the preferable one, and everybody wants the 16 valve because of the performance, or the turbo, better still, because the 16 valve turbo was supercar. It was 200 horse, 4-wheel drive. You know, it was fast on its day, and there were 100. I used to work for Vauxhall, and we had one stolen, and she was found abandoned after the joyriders had finished with her, and they took a 6-inch nail and scratched 157 mph in the bonnet.
Wow. What market did they design the Calibra for?
It was the replacement for the Manta. The Calibra's based on the Cavalier, as the Manta was, which in GM terms is a J car. So the J Coupe was the Manta, and then when they modernised it, they brought out the Calibra, which was the replacement for the Manta. Manta was rear-wheel drive. This is front-wheel drive.
Okay. But like you say, you could get the 16 valve when 4-wheel drive?
The 16 valve turbo came in all-wheel drive, yes, but it was the top of the range.
Yeah.
But it was an absolute rocket ship, you know. But they had, the 4-wheel drives had their issues with the transfer box needing rebuilt, but don't know, wouldn't have one.
Now it's time to rate the car. So for Future Classic, we've given it a 7.5. For Daily, we've given it a 4. For Wallet Hurt, we've given it a 5.5. And for Fun, we've given it a 4. So the total is 21 out of 40, which is 52.5%. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow our vlog and podcast channel, link description, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Very good. Realised I didn't clap.
Thanks very much.